So a laboratory technician is testing the rates at which different chemicals in sunscreen absorb various wavelengths of ultraviolet light. The data from the test is displayed in the graphs below. Okay, so these are different wavelengths on the x-axis, all the way from 290 up to 400 nanometers. And on the y-axis, I see absorbance from 0% to 50% to 100%. And the question says, which of the chemicals is best at absorbing the highest energy ultraviolet light? So just sorting through this question, figuring out what it's saying, we have three different chemicals, which I'm going to butcher their names right now, but it looks like avobenzone, octocrylene, and acamciol. So the square is octocrylene, and that's right there, square, 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 square. And it looks like that's really good at absorbing wavelengths around 305 nanometers. If I just scale that up for like right there, it peaks out at absorbing those. And isn't so good at absorbing the higher wavelengths. The circle is acamciol, and that's not really good at absorbing the low wavelengths, but really good at absorbing the middle wavelengths around 350 nanometers. And then falls off again as we get to higher wavelengths. And then the last one is avobenzone, and that's really good at absorbing wavelengths around 360, but not so good at absorbing the ones with smaller wavelengths. So that's just interpreting this graph, what we're seeing. And this one says the best at absorbing the highest energy ultraviolet light. So we need to relate wavelength to energy. And I can do that with the relationship E equals hc over lambda. Because E equals hc over lambda, as wavelength gets smaller and smaller and smaller, energy gets bigger and bigger and bigger. They have an inverse relationship. The more wavelength, the less energy, and the less wavelength, the more energy. That means down here, these have large energies, and over here they have small energies. So the best one that's really good at absorbing the small wavelength, high energy photons is the square, which is octocrylene, and that is why the answer is B.